Hey guys, thank you for coming over here at such a short notice. I wasn't going to do this tonight. I didn't even want to, but I was over there checking out what Jamie was doing, and that was amazing. He was, I mean, the stuff he was giving away was pretty awesome. I won't be able to compete with that, and Allison won't either when we do our giveaway. We're just going to have some measly gift cards, but hopefully it'll help somebody for Christmas this year. Anyway, so I've got something pretty awesome to show you guys that I've been working on all day. And if you'll bear with me 1 second, let me mute this and I'll get it ready to show you. All right, guys, I'll give y'all just a second. And I want to show you this because I worked pretty hard on it today. And people had complained that the other intro I'd made was, I guess, it was too loud, and which it really was. I didn't know what I was doing when I made that intro. So I'm gonna play this for you real quick, and y'all let me know what you think. What'd you think about that? If it was okay, give me a thumbs up. If it wasn't, give me a thumbs down. I worked my hind end off on doing that today, and I do not know how to edit whatsoever. So I was kind of proud of it. So somebody said I love it, but it's still loud. I thought I actually turned the volume down quite a bit on that one, so it's not as loud as the other one was for sure. So basically what I wanted to do is put this together real quick, and I want to find out what you guys think about what's going on and the people that are saying they're coming here to I guess do what they did at the laundry's house. That's a completely different situation. He was supposedly on the run at this point in time. There was so much evidence that had already pointed at him, so much evidence that was pointing at at the parents, and that's different. And the people, I'm just gonna go ahead and throw this in there. The people in Florida are probably a lot more easygoing than people here, and regardless if people here are going to act crazier or not, they might not, but it's the simple fact that people on that road that live down there have went through so much craziness already. I just don't see it lasting long, and I don't know how law enforcement in Florida treated it, but I don't see it happening very long here. That's my opinion, though, and I just don't see uh, what good they feel is going to come out of this. I've heard talk that they say they're going to come in and they're going to search the well at the Wells house. Do they not understand that these wells have been searched by not only law enforcement but private uh, divers and people that are qualified to search those things multiple times? Uh, you know, and people are like, well, no, there was this well that was forgot down at the lower part of the property. I can promise you it was not forgotten. There was cameras that were dropped down in them. They were checked 100%. These people up on that hill need to be left alone. It's a whole different situation than what was going on in in Florida. Let's see. Oh no, justice for all. What they said is they're going and they're checking the well. That's what they said. I saw it today. I saw claims of it. Alec, what did you read about it?
I hadn't really got to. I just saw that they said that they were going to be searching.
Yeah, and they're in Knoxville right now, from what I heard. I don't know that for a fact, but somebody over in Jamie's chat just a minute ago said that they were earlier today were in a at a hotel or whatever in Knoxville. Okay, Kevin B. I mean, we'll talk about like that's what we're here for real. So you feel like if they would talk tonight, that this could be, or if they would talk, it could be solved tonight, right? Do you not think that law enforcement has questioned them, and questioned? Do you think that these people that are going to come down here with bullhorns are going to be able to make any bigger of a difference than what law enforcement has done? Let's talk about this too, because I was actually part of. I was sitting in. I'll say this, listening to another chat on another channel earlier today, and the polygraph stuff came up, and I found, this is just, it bothers me to think like this. That think that, all right, there's a big difference between one person passing or failing a polygraph, and then there's three people that all three pass polygraphs. So you're you're telling me that if they're all three lying, that they all three were able to fool that system. And who knows if the questions were asked the same? And, I'm sure they have tactics to figuring this out. Uh, Also, I guess what was being brought up that I saw in another live today was they brought up the picture of Summer on the milk jugs again, and we're talking about how they thought that she was deceased there. Okay, and everybody's entitled to their opinion, and I'm not saying anybody's wrong, anybody's right. But cadaver dogs were brought into that property not one time, but multiple times, and went through every vehicle, went through every part of the house. Don't So when a body uh, shuts down, takes its last breath, the brain and the body starts releasing chemicals. And the dogs, what we've read and what we have researched on, is that they can pick it up. Uh, they say 20 minutes, but can be picked up as soon as what, 3 minutes when a body passes away. I just, I don't know. I just have I have a big problem thinking that that people think that law enforcement and search teams, 110 search teams now, and not just Hawkins County law enforcement, TBI, Sullivan County. Who else was out there, babe? On the day that she disappeared.
I'm not sure on the day, but there was tons that haven't even been named.
Yeah, and I'm talking about as far as law enforcement, the counties that were from around there that came in
Oh,
to uh, for support and show backup.
well,
And then just over the, well, go ahead. No, say what you're gonna say.
well, I don't know for certain, but just given the proximity, you would think that even Green and Sullivan and all of those counties could have came in too.
Yeah, we don't. I'm not saying they for a fact were there.
No.
I'm just saying, usually when you have something big like this, um,
the surrounding
surrounding,
counties
yeah,
come to assist.
exactly. So not only are we saying that Don and Candace, well, I guess what people are implying is that they did this, and not only did they fool just law enforcement, they fooled 110 search agencies that came in, and I mean, this is what they do all around the country. It wasn't just search and rescue from here; it's from all over the nation came in to help. Um, I don't know if you guys remember, but they came in at what? Do you remember what time period that was when they came in and put that FLIR camera up uh, to surveil the woods and the mountains there? It was it was pretty early on. They came in and they still had helicopters with FLIR. Um, you had the drone people out there combing that area, and I'm not even mentioning uh, the footprints yet. So you're saying, so people are saying this. So if she was to have passed away in that truck, then, which the rumors have been, well, that wasn't the same day, and that wasn't this that uh, the date was changed on that picture. I don't know. I know that that wasn't a picture or a video from TikTok. That was given straight to Unmasked Teresa from Unmasked from Candace. I think she gave that to her personally. Isn't that right? I believe it is. I don't think that video was on TikTok. And so what I'm referring to right now is the video of her on the milk jugs in the back seat where everybody claimed that Summer was already deceased. And there was actually no. I actually listened to this uh, live stream that Duty Ron did with what's her name, Barbara Butcher.
I think so.
Yeah, the what is she? The coroner? Is that what she is, or what is? I can't remember her title. I think she's a New York City coroner. She worked for the coroner's
She worked
office.
for the coroner's office. I can't remember if she was the actual coroner.
When she looked over the pictures and went over everything, and it was in her opinion, from looking at pictures, that it was she was still alive. She was asleep. So, all right. So we're saying, if we say that happened then or whatnot, so you're saying that she had to continue to ride in that truck all the way to wherever they were going, and that cadaver dogs wouldn't be able to hit it there. I mean, that's a big deal. That's a big way to debunk that right there. Those cadaver dogs went through those trucks multiple times. I think, when was it that they came back? They came back, I think it was a week after the initial search, and ran them again through it. I don't have, now don't quote me on these dates because I'm not 100% on them. But I know that it was very, very close to the time that the searches were stopped.
Well, even if we're talking about the video of her on the milk jugs, there was also a still photograph.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm certain that law enforcement had that photograph as well, directly from Candace's phone.
Yep.
And we know that they are able to pull the metadata off of any image.
That's right.
Therefore, they would know exactly when and where that photo was taken.
Right. So if that photo was in question, believe me, we would have heard about it by now. They ain't gonna play with that. They're not gonna let somebody say
this was this day,
and when it wasn't,
yeah.
especially when the child is missing. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead on my checkoff list. I'm gonna say that one is debunked in my book. Not everybody else's. I can't speak for anybody else, but I will say that. Does Tabitha not have a wrench? Give Tabitha Key a wrench on your phone. Okay. So And I'm not going to sit on here forever. We're just going to talk and we're going to discuss it. And then I'm going to start asking you guys some things. I just had to get some stuff off my chest because today, just listening to things, I got irritated because I was like, man, let's think about it. Let's use common sense and let's think about everything in totality. Let's talk about, okay, so what do we know? What do we know? The day that she goes missing, we know that um, we know that she's there at the house. They come home from being out the horse pond, from swimming, taking, going. Well, we'll just go from the beginning of the timeline. They take grandma to the hospital, uh, to the ER. She has her appointment. Um, Candace comes back with Hunter, picks her up. They go to the what is the smoke tobacco
Discount tobacco.
and hippie house,
Yeah.
whichever order that was in. Then they leave from there. They go to Walgreens. They drop off prescription. They go to the horse pond to wait for the prescription to be filled. They hang out there, do whatever, leave there. And I'm not going into details in these, but I'm just saying what the timeline is to get to where we're at, what we're talking about now. So they leave. They do whatever at the horse pond. They leave there. They go back to Walgreens. They pick up the prescription. Um, that's when the call from Dawn happens to see when she's going to be home, what they're doing. They leave Walgreens. They go to Sonic's. They get slushies, and then they go to Priceless Foods, get groceries. Where Hunter says him and Summer sat in the truck watching TikToks. They leave from there. They go back to Hunter's house, drop him off, and sorry if I missed that. Hey, buddy, thank you, Chris. Oh no, they're not getting to me, man. I just wanted to talk about stuff. This is kind of just open discussion, man. This is good to have sometimes. Thank you, though, buddy. I appreciate you so much. And guys, if you saw what happened last night on that live stream, uh, it was amazing. He, one of our listeners, our subscribers, donated Chris from First to Deploy an RV, a very nice RV,
Very nice RV.
very nice RV. We I've got the pictures. I'm not gonna show them yet until Chris wants those to be shown. But I mean, that last night was an amazing thing that happened. That really showed me that we do have the best people over here. For somebody to do something as selfless as that and give somebody an RV for him to you know, live out his dream and accomplish his goals, uh, that's that's above and beyond. And thank you so much. Guys, if there's people in the chat being disrespectful, listen, we're having an adult conversation. If you can't handle it, you can't do it, then uh, you can leave, or we can just start, um, you know, handle it accordingly. I appreciate it. I'm asking you nicely if you're going to be here. Let's talk about it. We'll talk about everything, but let's do it with common sense and think about everything. That's all I ask. Thank you. And Natasha is here. Did you give Tabitha her wrench back? Good. I don't know what Diane's in here, Music City Mom. Guys, listen, we're not going to play with the disrespect in here. There's a lot of good people in here. We're just going to talk. That's it. And we're going to discuss by the end of this what are the pros and what are the cons of people that would come down here and protest with bullhorns and whatnot. What are we really thinking is going to happen? I, it just I don't get it. And thinking that they're going to go and on properties and search wells and do all this, Good luck to you. I don't see it happening. And I really don't see people that are not from here being able to make it very long out there with no cell phone service and not being able to do anything, uh, living in areas where you always have that. Because guess what? You're going to learn real quick. There's no bathrooms out there for you to use while you're doing your protest. There's nowhere to plug your cell phones up at unless you're in your car.
And if I recall, they were live streaming their protest last time, and there's not going to be any way for them to do that out
Yeah, not
there.
gonna happen this time. And I promise you, you're not allowed to park on the sides of them roads out there because every bit of property out there is
It
owned,
belongs to
and you
somebody.
will be trespassing as soon as you park on it because it's all posted. Yeah,
Yeah.
and you know what? All this is my thing too. I'm not here to stop anybody from doing what they want to do. That's their prerogative. If they want to come out here and waste their time and money to stand at the bottom of a hill, and you're not going to be 20 feet from my house here. You're going to be down there yelling until somebody else calls the police on you, and or handles it the way that Beach Street community has handled things for years and years. They've pretty much policed theirself out there.
Yeah, they must not have read about the one neighbor.
Yeah, they must. Yeah, yeah, that's true. No, they don't need it, and it's not needed at all. It's not going to help anything. It's not going to solve anything. I mean, I've seen some of the same uh, people that are going to be involved with this doing prank phone calls to their house in the middle of the night to the Wells house. Now, a grown adult that runs a channel prank calling and saying that they work for a news station or a uh, TV station out of New York City and thought it was hilarious. And I'm like, wow, is this what we've come to? That we are prank calling people that we see just what we want to see from the outside, but have never been there to witness what it might look like to live here and be a part. They're going to learn real quick. They're going to see it for what it really is. So I don't know. So we got the timeline. She gets home. Um, they came in. They carried their groceries in. Uh, they went over there and planted flowers. I heard the excuse today or something that there was weeds in those flower pots, so they didn't plant anything. How can you say that? Because they didn't pull the weeds out of. They just went ahead and put them in the dirt. Some people, I mean, she wanted to get them trans. What was it? Isn't that what Candace said? She said she had them sitting out so long she had to get them trans. Is that what you call transplanted
Hmm.
into the bigger pot? So she just grandma wanted to get them over there. Actually, I spoke to her about it. That's the thing, guys. Like I can sit here and I am on. Me and Allie are on a different level because we have spoke to them personally and talk to them in great detail about stuff. And it's the same. It's the same thing as they're telling everybody else, right?
Hmm.
Word for word,
100%.
100%. So, you know, uh, it's not. This is the thing too. Who who do these people think they are that they think they have the right to come down here and that they are above the law to yell and scream and tell people what they need to do? I just think that's regardless. This is my opinion. I just don't see what good can come from it. I'm not bashing them. I'm not talking anything bad. I just want to know what good comes from this. It seems to me it's more like bullying almost, right? It's psychological is what they're trying to do. I
Yeah.
do know what it is. They think that they're going to psychologically punk them out to make them that they just can't handle it no more, and they're just going to come down there and confess everything to them. I I am I don't know. We'll leave it at that. This is too much. So let's get to the footprints. Let's talk about that. This is why I guess I get so irritated about it because I I find the property owner to be uh, very truthful. I find him to be very honest just by the way, not even going into to detail about people that have spoke to him after the fact, but just how he wrote his post, right? He even like he came back and said, "Deputy said if I'm going to talk about it, let me be precise." I mean, he laid it all out there. Uh, and it didn't take him very much room to talk about it all, did it? I mean, he laid it all out there. He said, "This is what I know. This is
He
all I
put
can
it
answer
as
for."
simply and I mean as
This is yeah. This is what
factually as he could.
yeah. This is what happened. This is what I know. That's all I got for you. Well, there was somebody that commented that said they ran a Facebook group and said, well, he couldn't supply the answers that everybody wanted. That's the reason he got attacked the way he did. That what he can only give you
What he knows.
what he knows.
And what he was told. And
Right? They came, they came on his property looking. I'm sure he was like, sure, come here and look for whatever you want to, whatever you need to, because I'll tell you this: a lot of people in that community, uh, they've been made out like they didn't care and they weren't helpful. They are helpful, and thank you, Blue Sky, for that. We appreciate it. They all came together to try to help. Some property owners were in the initial search. Some of them uh, were helping cook meals to try to feed the boys at that time, and try to take just take some stress off of the parents. And that's what Southern hospitality is. Regardless of how we feel about somebody, when they're in a time of need, you go and you help them. I know that it's not like that in in other parts of the United States. I know that doesn't happen anymore because we've been places, we've vacationed and stuff, and people just don't have manners anymore, and that's a problem. Like that's why I teach my kids manners. Manners maketh men. That's that's very strong. I feel like because manners does make you a man. When you can say thank you and I'm sorry and excuse me and be I guess a gentleman, that goes a long way. Anyway, so all right, guys, I want to get y'all's opinions. I'm sorry, I've seen the chat flying by and I haven't even got to look at it. I was just trying to talk. Let's see. Let's see what I'm gonna see what people are saying here. Help me, Dave. Yeah, we do, Kim Holmes. That's true.
so I'm looking at
One eyed open. What they said is okay. So we do know that they have been intoxicated a bunch through this. I mean, that's no hidden thing. We know that they have been in some arguments while uh, on some other channels and said things and done things that other people would say, well, I wouldn't do that or I wouldn't talk. They have lost everything. They I'm sure they don't have any respect for themselves, much less each other at this point in time. Um, it doesn't it's not an excuse, but we have literally watched these people uh deteriorate through this. We have watched them literally uh go from we have watched Candace personally lose so much weight,
so much weight.
And it's not from what some might say, oh, it's substance abuse. That's this. No, I know that she has been taking complying with the courts and DCS and has to take urine screens constantly. I know that's not the reason. It's called depression and it's called stress. I do know that, but I do know we have watched these people deteriorate in front of our eyes like never before in a case ever before this one. They They have been on things. Don thought that regardless of what people thought about him, is more he got on lives, it kept his daughter's name out there, and that's what he said multiple times uh, to us, and I know to other people. And I think that they just got to a point that they just didn't care anymore. I mean, we saw it. He went into a downward spiral, ended up getting a DUI, back in trouble. Um, yeah, let's talk about that too. Let's talk about that. If these people, if these people, if law enforcement thought that uh, they could get anything out of them, that don't you think that they would have interrogated Don
They would
to
have held,
no end?
in my opinion, they would have held him without a bond for as long as they could and interrogated him until they thought that
Yeah,
he, I mean, until they thought he either didn't have any information or that they got every bit of it that they could out of him.
right. But that's not what happened at all.
No.
He walked out of there an hour and a half,
Within
2
hours, yeah.
hours. Yeah, 2 hours at the minimum. But no, there's still people that think that no, he he left work that day. He did. They have every bit of data on him, multiple things of day. And people say, "Well, I drive a truck, and it doesn't tell me when the door opens and doesn't." That's because your truck was before a certain year. Now
Or
they,
because you don't know that it
yeah, or
will do that.
yeah, now the newer vehicles, sometimes you don't even know that you have that in your vehicle, or what year they started putting them in there.
I think a lot of people in daily life just drive around and don't think about the fact that they have that.
Yeah, when you have OnStar and all that in your vehicle, they know everything that you're doing. They know when you stop, when you put it in reverse, everything. That's how they know. Oh, that's why when they show the commercials of somebody getting in a car wreck, immediately the guy says, "Oh, I noticed that you were going this far over the speed limit, and it seems like there was a collision on the left-hand quarter panel of your vehicle. Are you okay?" I mean, that should tell you that they have access to everything you're doing. Let's see here. Yeah, that's true too. Rebecca made us, even though she said I would guess having gums infected would cause one to lose weight. It would,
Absolutely.
because um I was gonna say something, but I'm not. I'm
Not
not,
her
because she's
face.
been through enough pain.
Yeah.
Been through enough pain, and not even, no, we're not even talking about uh internal pain from like your heart and your mind, but
Right.
just the physical pain. Yeah, it took a year to arrest Morphew. Morphew also, let's look at everything that looked crazy about him though. There was things that they showed him throwing bags of stuff in different uh dumpsters and everything around. There's a lot, that's a lot different. That's a whole lot different. There is So let's go on what law enforcement says. This is the thing, guys. What has law enforcement said? As of right now, there is no evidence of abduction. That's what they said. Or evidence of foul play. So, what is, you know, you can pretty much think of anything nefarious is foul play. That's what he's saying. There's no evidence of it. None. So, if people are saying, well, it's an accident. It was an accident and they took her and that's foul play. That is still foul play. So, have you heard the 911 call? Because nobody else has. We've heard the dispatcher. We've heard her misinterpret what was said. But have you heard the 911 call? Have you heard what Don said to them or what Candace said to them? Because I know I haven't. And I know a lot of people that would have heard it would have already heard that. I'm just saying, you can't say that screams suspicious just because. Okay, so you got to think this. What if she's a frantic mother and she says, last thing she's screaming, last thing I saw, she's walking back over the house. So then the dispatch officer says, Yeah, and I'm not saying this. We'll speculate on this. What if calls the officer and says the mother said she was on a walk, but the mother said she had walked back over, talking about Summer. Summer had walked back over to the house and went down. We don't know because that hasn't been released yet.
Or even that she said, I walked to go search
Yeah,
because
she should have
she
said,
said,
yeah.
and then she also, I mean, we don't know.
She could have said, I walked around
The
the side of the
property,
house.
yeah.
She didn't say, I went on a walk or a run. I do not.
Ah, yeah, I don't know where the run part came from.
I'm sure. I can almost assure you, Candace did not say she went on a run.
I believe
Anyway,
Candace herself would assure you that she did not say that she went
yeah,
on a
she has
run.
told us that. She said, I didn't say I was going on a run. Karen Campbell, do I think that I'm too objective? What do you mean by that? What is objective? That we're looking at everything? Is that too
And they were
objective
looking at facts.
to deal with the facts of it instead of wanting to go off in left field with something that holds no bearing? We have to look at it in full. If law enforcement is saying that, then that's what you have to go with. Because right now, there's nobody else that can say better or worse. They have the final say, right? Correct?
Correct.
Oh, thank you, Kate. I appreciate that so much. We really do. Look at that.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much.
And it's not even what. I just wanted to get on here and actually clear my frustrations. I had to talk about some stuff. Okay, let me see. And what am I missing here? I'm trying to read everybody. It's going fast. Why hasn't anyone been cleared? I don't know. I can't answer that. None of us can answer that. But at the same time, the sheriff is saying these things, so we don't know. We know as much as you know, but we do try to look at things uh, in more of not a tunnel visioned approach. It regardless. I mean, I can sit here and people will take it this. Well, y'all are just pro Don, pro Candace. What is pointing at them to say they did any of this at this point? At this point in time, what is pointing at them that says they did anything they have what is it, cooperated? They didn't have to get one search warrant for that property. That speaks volumes in itself. They didn't have to get a search warrant. They didn't have to do anything. They didn't. I mean, they didn't have to go out of their way. They anytime they wanted to go up there, they went. Anytime they asked them to do anything, they did it. Um, you know, Now the only thing I will tell you that they have not done correctly is maybe some behavior that they have shown, and they'll admit that to their themselves. Uh, you know that the phone call to Mary was not good in the least bit. We all know that it wasn't a good. That's not a good look, and at the point in time, sorry, it wasn't. It's not a good. That just wasn't a good idea at that point in time. Yes, that's we can all say that. But as far as uh, I mean, we know that the substance abuse problem has been going on for a long, long time. Does that make it right? No. But at the same time, we don't know if it's worse now than it has ever been because this is probably the hardest thing they've ever went through in their entire life.
And does substance abuse mean that you would hurt your child?
Can I slow the chat a little more? Yeah, hold on one second. Sorry, Natasha. Let me go do that real quick. Go ahead and answer some where you can see them.
So the red truck. We can talk about the red truck.
Yeah.
Um, as far as we know, well, we do know that law enforcement had that information about the red truck that's being talked about now a very long time ago.
Does that help, Natasha? That should help you a little bit. Okay. So the person they're talking about, Ethan Wise, that they have been talking about, he is actually the only person, if he is the same one, which I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
Thank you, Music City Mom. Oh, she's helping you, Mom. Thank you, Kaylee.
yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for helping your aunt Maud tonight. We can use all the help we can get sometimes over here.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me, guys. Man. Okay, so Ethan Wise was he? I don't even know if he's a neighbor. Is he a neighbor?
He apparently did not live on Ben Hill.
Yeah, he did not live on Ben Hill. Okay,
From
so
what we've been told.
he had a red truck and it had white buckets in the back, but he was at work and was out of town. He is the only person as of this point that has been cleared. And it was said that he was cleared. Because he had an alibi. He was not even in this area whatsoever when this happened. Yeah, he is 16 also. Leave him alone. That is another big thing too. I watched the videos that Chasing put out today. And Karen, I'm not talking about him. I'm taking up for him. Karen Campbell. Nobody is talking bad about him at all. I'm taking up for him saying he's been cleared. He is a kid, yes. And he got thrown to the wolves too. Just like the property owner where the footprints were. Uh, how is that right? How do we get to the truth doing that? Also, what? Can you not hear my volume? For real? Let me see if I can fix that. Can everybody else hear me? Put a 1 in the chat, please. Okay, everybody says they hear me. It's good. All right, cool. Thank you, guys. Let's see here. Okay, so the people that I felt like needed to be, I feel like, and I don't know this, but I've heard the people from the tree company and stuff that were up there working, uh, were up around that property for a long time up to when this happened, and then uh, from what I've heard, I don't know 100% that they were just asked basically, do you know anything about this? They went through, and it was no, okay. Um, I felt like they could maybe have been talked to a little bit more, and I'm not saying that they didn't. I just saying hearsay. I'm going to say that right now. I'm not saying that they weren't. I'm just saying that's what I heard. But, and then I also heard, like, just like Nerdy Addict had said, that law enforcement did not go to places on the timeline and pull camera footage. I know that because I talked to one of the places on the timeline as well.
Yeah, we were told personally that they
yeah.
did not. Now, does that mean that they could not have somehow remotely pulled it? We don't know.
Unless it is, I mean, if it's a Wi-Fi connected camera, sure.
Yeah.
But a CC camera, right? Is that what they're called? Closed caption camera. You have to go pull video from. Now I know that one place on the timeline, which I won't give its location because that's not my place. But Nerdy Addict had said the Walgreens said that he said that he had went there and they said that nobody had been there, and plus that their footage was deleted after 30 days. So
And not just footage of that day, just
Who is dragging him through the mud? EW. Who is dragging him through the mud? Nobody's talking about him. Is somebody in the chat? Yeah, that's the only reason I spoke about him, was to say that he 100% was cleared. That's why I was talking about him. Hey, Brenda Flores, thank you for being over here tonight. Hey, guys. Let's see here. What'd she say? No, good night. Thank you for coming. And, you know, guys, Natasha, and I don't know who else is in here. If you see people being, just don't even give them a chance. Just get them out of here. If they're being bad and they're disrespectful and talking bad, especially about a minor, like they're doing, no, here, I can do it too. I can block them straight out from here. Yeah, that's ridiculous too, Frankie baby. I have seen the channels that are doing that, and it's not right, and it shouldn't even be discussed on here, much less he is a minor. He is a minor. My lord. Okay, D, that is not a bad idea. The GPS trackers on dogs. We thought me and Chris from First to Deploy talked about that today. That's actually not a bad idea, because dogs will follow and go check on things. They do their own. They do, I guess, their own routes. They go the same paths. That's why they have trails, like dog trails and stuff. They walk the same areas, especially when they're in a pack with each other, like they are out there. Here, tell me which ones they are, guys, and I'll just go through and just start blocking them. Let me see here. I'll find them. Give me just a second, and I'll do troll control real quick. Look, it ain't worth it, guys. It ain't worth it to fight them. Don't even address them, because that's what they thrive off of. You can't have an honest discussion. And the sad thing is, these are adults that come in here and do this. These are adults that come in here and go after people. That's sad. So how are you teaching children when you're an adult that acts that way?
Mm-hmm.
You know? And you're the ones questioning other people's lives and what other people do. Maybe you should look at yourself and see what you're doing every night, sitting on your computer in the middle of the night, bashing people and attacking people. Boy, you're so much better than everybody else, let me tell you. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. No, their bodies are adults. That's the thing. The mental matureness is not
quite there.
Not quite there. Marissa Edwards said y'all's mods rock. Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
They are amazing. They are amazing. Thank you guys so much. And I watched Jamie do his giveaway tonight, and that dude went above and beyond, man. He was giving coins out, purses, because he was so appreciative of reaching 3,000 subscribers, and that's what's up. Guys, that's awesome. We're going to do our giveaway we've been talking about. We're giving away some gift cards. We're going to do it basically the same way, because we want to give back to y'all for everything you've done for us. We're right on the cusp of 10,000 subscribers, and that's insane. I don't understand how we got that here already. But by the grace of God, I guess. Oh yeah, somebody will comment right after I get off here and say, you need to leave church at church and YouTube to YouTube. All right. Away from me, Satan.
Exactly.
Be gone, Satan. It's sad. And the people that will come over and attack you and say that you're not a Christian for treating people good, it bewilders me. You are not a Christian because you are nice to them. Uh, that's what it tells us to be, is nice to them and nice to everybody, and to not only it's not just being nice, it's treating somebody like a human being and not like a dog or a piece of trash that you kick around on the ground, because best believe there's some that do that. And Lord, shoot, I can, if I start getting into it, it'll be bad. It will be bad. All right, guys. So basically, let's talk, and we're gonna close it up now. I was on here for longer than I ever thought I was gonna be. We'll talk for a little bit longer. We still got about 15 minutes or whatnot. What can we, let's bring up some stuff. What do we got? Oh, people. So has anybody? Because I have not seen this debunked footprint um, information yet. The proof. Best believe I've had it thrown up in my face, and I've said back to everyone, bring that proof back over here, and then we'll talk about it. I'm still waiting. Can't wait to see it. And you know what? Uh, if y'all didn't see the the map that we showed the other night when we were mapping out in the general area of the footprints, and then we showed you where the search crews were, uh, and people said, "Well, they're going on a tip. They're going on a tip. It's a tip that they already had. They were going off in. I'm not answering for them, but I'm just think it's quite funny that they would be right out there again, right on top of it again, going. They're going in the directions that they're seeking out all this terrain. They would not have the planes flying out mapping these huge wide areas uh, to not be looking and thinking a possibility that she had walked that way, or maybe somebody had accompanied her that way. I'm still not convinced that that wasn't possible. Um, because I don't know. I don't know why I think that. I just think there's too much that we don't know that says otherwise. Basically, if she would have got off that property and out of somebody's um, uh, supervision and got far enough, somebody could have just came along and did whatever, and nobody would have ever seen it, because they tell them how far sometimes you get down on Beach Creek. There's houses, how far and in between they are.
Oh, yeah. They're very far between sometimes.
Well, I mean, it's just what I was saying is, if she would have gotten down that hill and been out there, and this, I don't know, and I've had to argue this, and we all know that people say, "Well, my kid would never do this, and my kid would never do that. She would never do that." And then you turn around and they're across a Walmart or running across the parking lot, and you turn around 2 seconds and turn back around, and they're gone.
Kids do unpredictable things sometimes.
What do y'all think about Dobbs? We have been on Nana Southern Crafts. We have done. I actually, please go check out all of our videos that we did. We went and checked his alibis, and I will tell you this right now: they did not hold up. The
We
ones
have
that we,
talked very extensively about him.
yeah, you will see exactly what we think. Go watch those videos. Basically, that's okay. I actually have some. Let me show you this. I actually can share my screen right now, and I can show you something that I forgot I had. Let's see. Let me go over here. Answer some questions real quick so I can go find these real quick. If you don't care.
Let's see if I can find one.
Where are they?
What are you looking?
Huh? No, from up on Dobbs' property where you could see from the real estate pictures,
Oh, yeah.
where you can see the bus and the house and
You had
everything.
that in that one log.
Oh, found it.
So, did the dogs hit just on noticed prints or an ongoing trail to the prints? They hit only on the prints. There was no trail leading up to the prints or away from the prints. It was just on the prints themselves.
Okay, so and on the on the property owner's property that uh reported what he had seen on his property. He What is going on here? Sorry. He Okay, so this is what he said. He had even come out and said that where there wasn't a scent, this was his speculation. He said it was almost like she was picked up and carried and sat down in a certain area because there was, uh, from what we have heard, there was one or two there on his property, two footprints on his, and there was a scent there, and then you went 3/4 of a mile away and there was another print. That's that is basically only thing that we know at this point. So I don't know why it's not letting me share this right here. Oh, I got it. I got it. I'm sorry. I know why. Okay, I'm gonna have to do it this way.
Exactly why be so nosy.
Okay, can you all see this? You okay? All right. This is this right here is the real estate pictures from when they were selling uh, Dobbs's property. You can see the top of the school bus right here. Let me zoom in. You can see that is the top of the bus. This is the top of the house over here. So he has a vantage point that we can see right there. He has a vantage point from his property straight over there. We know that Dobbs was coming down here for many years before he bought this property here. What drove him to buy property here? Because this property is not something that you just got to have.
Well, it's not something that you would buy to build a house on
No,
or anything like that.
exactly. This is yeah, I don't know why you would do that. Let me stop here. I have other ones, but I don't know where they're at right now. They're just basically the same thing. It just shows different angles. But yeah, I haven't showed those in a long time. Those were actually on one of our lives that we did back in. It's what was it? Let's talk about Dobbs. Wasn't it that one or JD? Something. So yeah, you can go back and check our videos, and I'll see if I can I'll try to post it somewhere for you guys. Maybe I can.
Yeah, there was a lot of people that thought that Mr. JD was too old. However,
Yeah.
we know for a fact that he was out on the side of those ridges with a chainsaw cutting down trees.
Not just a little chainsaw either. We're talking about a big 50-pound steel chainsaw. One of the ones that it takes. I mean, you got to have some with some butt behind you. I was gonna say some ass behind you to carry one of them. Well, it's okay. I mean, I'm just saying that's what my dad said all the time. You got to put. You know what I'm saying. If you live in the country, I won't repeat it again. But that's what they say. He was coming up and down these hills. They got pictures of him coming off trails off a steep steep trails coming off the side of these hills, off different people's properties. No, Dobbs is not a mortician.
No, that's David Dotson.
That's Dotson. Two different people. Okay. JD is somebody that came down here. He was camping over the property lines on Jody Sue's property. They asked him to move, and he argued and said it was his. And the cops came out and said, if these people have lived here 200 years, they would definitely know where their property line is. Well, he threw a hissy fit and said he wasn't going to leave, said he wasn't going to tell him his name and all this. It was just too much. And then, so basically, then after that, how many days was it after that altercation? Two, I think. After Jody Sue and JD,
yeah, I think so.
2 days. I think it was the 13th or 14th. Might have been the 14th. It was the 14th, wasn't it? So she goes, yeah, not even a day. So he says, and just conveniently takes a picture saying he's leaving. He's not out there on Ben Hill Hill anymore. That's what he said. So he says this alibi that he is at the Roadway Inn in Churchill. Been there all day. The only time I left was to get biscuits and beer. All this. So we went out to that Roadway Inn, and we took pictures in the same spot that he supposedly took pictures that day of the dog, and he claims was the 15th. And that parking lot has been repaved, repainted, the lines repainted different. Concrete pillars were put in different. The lines aren't even in the same places. We just proved that one pretty big. And that one didn't make sense. So then on the 18th of June, he shaves his head and his beard and says, new look for a new start, or new shave for a new start. I'll tell you this much. Back when on the 14th, before that, he was already had his head shaved and his beard gone. So that makes it even more weird. Why are you just now saying you did this? It just too much. It didn't add up. But who am I? We got it. You remember how bad we got railroaded because we said something about him? Because it can't be him, even though all so much just didn't add up. He actually was not telling the truth about things, and was pointed out. But guys, and that's the thing. That's what hurt this case so bad, is because people didn't hear about these things. There's a lot of people that are just now finding out. Diane Harlow said that video, y'all did kick some booties in true crime. We did, and we were proud of that one. And there was people that still argued with us and said that wasn't the same place. He took the picture.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Oh my Lord. There is only, what was there? With the gutters, there was 3 poles. 3 poles with that gutter on it.
Only one
had
a sidewalk running on either side of it.
Right. Believe me, we went out there and we made sure we were very thorough with it. Yeah, it's too much, guys. How about the creepy audio? Was that true? Yes, it was true. Are you talking about the butt dial call from his wife to somebody that lived on Ben Hill Road on a Facebook butt dial to somebody who lives on Ben Hill Road, and they were in Georgia? And okay, and mind you, not very long after this, Dobbs' wife files for divorce, and there was some speculation to say that she might even have been down here with him at that point in time. Now that's total speculation there. We don't know for a fact on that whatsoever. But there was people that were saying that. Now, guys, I don't know. We're basically just rambling now, but let's talk. Let's. Anything else you want to cover? Anything important you think of? There's got to be something. You're You're great at these sometimes. Come on.
Not after I've worked and tired.
I know, but you got some good ones. Just I mean, so many things that if you really think about it, let me think of one here.
Yeah, we know where Norton is.
Yep, sure do. No, you're not. You're not a ditz. It's a lot of people do that. Believe it or not, they confuse those two a lot. Um, Somebody asked if people should think anything weird about those people. I don't know. Just you be the judge of that. Look into it. Just look into it, and you be the judge of it. That's what I'll say right now. I think that okay. Now, with as far as Robin goes, I don't. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think Robin has really tried to be there for Summer, and Summer loved her. With all you could see it. She loved her so much, and she thought that she was. I mean, what was it that we heard? That she said Robin was the prettiest woman ever. I don't. I don't think Robin. No. Um, the other fella, there's some things that I questioned. Yes, because he had totally went out of his way to say things that were not consistent. That uh, let's talk about. You know those. Let's talk about. Okay, so when he went on Unmasked, he said that the boys were out with Candace and Hunter and all of them at the horse barn. He said that he tried to say that he tried to say
In the same interview.
in the same interview.
He said
Then
that they were at work with Dawn that day.
In the same interview said that they were at work with Dawn, and then they were at the swimming hole with Candace, and then said that here we're almost done. We're gonna wrap it up right now, and then said basically, well, what was it? The other thing. Oh, there's a big one. Oh, he said that she showed deceptive. He made it.
Signs of a deception.
He said that Candace had showed 3 signs of deception on her polygraph, which was not true. They told her to come back, go home, and come back because she's too upset to take it. People have then accused that. People have then went and attacked her on that and said that she was manipulating them. Do you not think that people that do polygraphs for a living know the difference between somebody that is manipulating them and somebody that's they do this for a living? They run a lie detector machine for a living. To think that they're just gonna be like, yeah, sure, it's okay. You don't have to take it today. You just come back when you want to.
Mm-hmm. Whenever you feel
Whenever
like
you feel like it on your time. That's not how it works. There was one more. One more.
Well, he had just said that he had.
I've never been out there. I had to get directions. I didn't know how to get out there. And when nobody had asked him.
Multiple times.
Multiple times he said it, and nobody had asked him if he had to get.
He just really wanted people to know that he had never been there before.
And and there might not be nothing to that, but from the outside looking in, that's some weirdness. You would know the answers to that if you were around them, right? You would think. If I was, I would know those answers. I don't know. It's just and it might be nothing, but I just saying, if we're gonna look into everything, we gotta look at it all. Mm-hmm. This is too much. There's too many. If you want to talk about this too, I'll tell you one, a strange one. And I want to call this out too, because there was a big misconception at the beginning of this case, and people were trying to say there was another big channel that came in and interviewed a bunch of people that said that the yellow vehicle that was there when Summer was dancing in the rain belonged to Jamie, and he was trying to say the Jamie.
That has, well,
Jamie,
Jackhammer Jamie.
Jackhammer Jamie, but the other Jamie that worked with Don, that was not who that was at
Those are
all.
two totally different Jamies, first and foremost.
Yeah,
And that yellow vehicle didn't not belong to Jamie.
belongs to
Dudley.
Agent Dudley Agent, which is the guy that Don fired.
He also tried to say that that vehicle was there on the property and that they had carpooled together to work the day that Summer went missing.
And that's not true.
That was not true.
That was so. That was not even uh, the day that Summer was dancing in front of that barrel and everything, and that yellow SUV was back there. Was not what, a week.
I don't know.
We don't even know the exact
yeah,
date, but it was not even in the realm of being
that day.
that day. Um, that was some points that we had that we really saw, because they kept, well, no, you kept trying to twist and say, well, that day y'all carpooled, you told me. No, you were asking him with the day that she was dancing from the barrel. Who did you go to work with? Well, he tried to say it was Jamie. Tried to say, and he had the two different people mixed up, three different people mixed up. Um, that that was a big deal. Now, you guys want to talk about somebody that has some red flags? Really, Mr. Agent is one. He is one too. And Don was right to wonder about him. He was. I mean, listen, we know the things that we know that has been discussed about him, and he really was a loose cannon at this point in time.
Aaron Chase, yes, it did belong to the guy that got fired the day before she went missing.
Yeah, Jamie has had threats on his life because of that,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why. And me and Jamie have talked extensively about that. They came to his home and were surrounding his house, telling him to give them Summer and all this, and he still is dealing with it. There's people that are still sending us threats through email that are threatening him daily, telling him that he has so much time to give Summer back and all this.
Actually, he was supposed to have until 12 o'clock. What was it? Did he say Sunday? So tomorrow? Or was it Saturday today?
Did he apologize? I didn't know that he did. That if he apologized, I'm not talking about that. We're just saying that to that effect, that person, where it wasn't even about. It's not even about DeQuinto. It's not even about him and the apology. We're talking about the person that we were trying to get to. It's just saying that is the guy that Don fired. They had carpooled and went to a job. Where was they said they went? It was far.
Green?
No, Black. Was it Blackford? I can't remember which one it was. It was somewhere far away that they went and they carpooled. And yeah, this it's just too much. Anyway, Debbie Harris, they said, Cam, didn't you find someone around your house also? No, I was followed home from the gas station, but I have a camera that caught it all on camera. I've got everything, and I've turned that over because people, I mean, they literally stayed around the gas station and was watching me every move I made, and then left before I left, and then came circling in behind me at my home and almost stopped beside me. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, we're trying to be careful, and guys, we're not going to talk about any other creators in here. We were just talking about that one misconception and trying to tell you exactly who that really was that drove that yellow vehicle. Um, yeah, guys, the main thing is let's stop the hate, and we'll get a lot farther. We've been trying to show you that we've been trying to lead by example. When you're nice and you treat people humanely, you will get a lot farther in life, and you will learn a lot more. When you come at somebody sideways and complete just uh, accusation after accusation, you're not going to learn anything at all. And then at the end, by the time it's over with, you just have a big group of a big mob with what is it, pitchforks and torches going, rah, trying to tell people, come out of your house. Like basically what they're trying to do here whenever they get here.
I don't think it's going to end well for
no, it's not. I don't either.
protesters.
I don't either. I don't think this is going to be the same thing that they dealt with in
I think
Florida.
they might be getting into something that they are not quite prepared for, but we shall
Thank
see.
you, Dee Dee. Let me see what Dee Dee Care says. I want to read the. I want to say, you both are doing such an excellent job on YouTube. You always, since day one, given a platform that is peaceful, logical, with respect, and I love you both. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Have you noticed that those are coming up huge on there now? Look.
Whoa.
That's weird. Guys, let's just like our saying that we close with every night. At the end of the day, everybody wants justice, but justice doesn't have to be carried out with hate. It doesn't have to be. We can completely get to the truth, and people will have to answer to the thing. They have to pay the consequences for the things they've done wrong. But you don't have to do it by uh, just making them, just shredding them apart. You'll get a lot farther. You catch a lot more flies with honey than you do with vinegar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we hope so too. But you know what? We don't have to worry that anybody's going to hurt us, because if we have faith and we put on the armor of God, I 100% believe this. And if you know what? If God says it's our time to come home, there's nothing none of us can do to stop it. So we have to live knowing that our faith is in the right place and that we're not promised tomorrow. None of us. Thank you, Broken Dishes. We appreciate that. Thank you. And that's what this is our thing. It's okay to have your own opinions. It's okay to think differently than everybody. You don't have to be on one side or the other. It's okay. But you don't have to have an opinion. You don't have to be just a downright just nasty person to people to get your point across. It doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. No, thank you, La Noel. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you all. Let me see if I can answer a few more of these. Got 599 people in here right now. There was a lot more earlier. If you don't care, hit that thumbs up on the way out. We would greatly appreciate it if you do. If you don't like what we're doing, don't do it. Don't care. But we want Summer to be found. We want justice to be served as much as anybody else. And whoever is responsible for this needs to pay for it. Whoever has done something to this little girl, it has to pay the consequences, regardless of who it is. And we will get to the truth one way or another. It will come out one way or another. But it's not on our time. And nobody's going to force anybody to do anything. Hopefully we can do the right things and make the right, take the right steps into maybe pushing the envelope on, the closer that we get out, if we follow the evidence that we have in front of us, we have footprints that were talked about at the beginning, but we couldn't go out and address them because the man literally shut down and wouldn't speak to nobody. So as time goes by, you're like, hey, we really believed in you. We believed in you. Please talk to us. This is important. And you find out a lot more. You find out a lot more that way. Yeah, we heard this. Lady Slipper, the Bullhorn Betty crew is now in Knoxville. Yeah, I heard this a little bit earlier. Thank you, Marissa. Y'all pray for us that we get over these colds. It's constantly one after another. Every time we get over one, it's another one a couple of weeks behind it. and it's just it's just the way it's become, isn't it?
Yeah, this one's been rough.
This one's
though.
bad. Like it just is, it just sticks in your throat and don't ever want to leave in your chest. Oh, thank you, Jules. That show last night was good, and tonight I think we handled things well tonight on this one. We spoke about things. We said our opinions. You know, regardless. I mean, uh, people are gonna disagree that we feel like that this bullhorn idea is not a good idea, but that's okay. I'm just saying, I just don't see what good it can do right now. I don't see what good that's gonna do, and um, hopefully Don and Candace are going to just they should just go out of town and stay somewhere while they do it. That's what I would do. I'm like, all right, later, guys.
We'll be back later when
We'll
y'all
see
are
when
gone.
y'all get tired
After
of
the
sitting out
neighbors
here.
take care of you.
You know, when the after the sun sets and it gets so cold out here and there's nobody out here.
Yeah.
And you know how you can imagine we've been out there, how quiet it gets at night out there. Shoo. They're in for a nip if they've not lived in the country and been out where there's just silence and bugs and that's all you hear. Uh they're in for another treat.
Natasha.
What'd she say? Yeah, cows. Tell us what happened, cow. You know the truth. A bunch of people yelling at cows and horses with bullhorns. When the protest is supposed to, I have no idea when anything's supposed to happen. I just think it's ridiculous and that doesn't need to happen at all. They said they were going to go and search these wells that they claim that nobody has ever searched before, and I just find that funny. What? Which one? How's that? I'm not calling anybody a liar, but can you please tell me who told her that I'm calling a liar? I'm not calling anybody a liar. And I'm not saying that she's wrong. I'm not saying, but why does, let me ask you this. So is she right all the time? Is she right on everything? Because I heard her say herself she could be 100% wrong. You remember?
Mm-hmm.
We listened to it. When she was on Sweetie Pilo, I listened to it. She said, I could be wrong.
And I believe she also said that she hoped that she was wrong.
She said she hoped she was wrong. You know, we're not calling anybody a liar. That's just another attempt to trying to. We're not. Oh my lord. Where did that even come from?
I don't know.
Really, I'm sorry. Where does that come from? We're not calling anybody a liar. Sammy C. Yeah, we can hear you, buddy. What are you saying there? With you got your bullhorn on? All right.
No.
You see it? Huh? You see it right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, Natasha. Thank you. Let's put this one up here. Looks like everybody's wrong to this point. That's a very good point. It looks like we're all wrong. And we won't be right till we're right. Ain't that right? You ain't right till you're right until the right person finds something. No, what are you trying to show me?
Hold on, let me find it. It just scrolled by.
Melody Cromer says, well, what'd you say? Did I miss it?
Oh, where did it go?
Where? Down?
Wait. This way.
Okay.
Not so fast.
Down? Really? Is that what she said?
I don't know.
Well, then she was definitely wrong in that case, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, please give us a break with that. I'm sorry. I'm not saying that those people are wrong, and I'm not saying that I'm not talking against them, but I, I can, honestly, I will say that the Bible does tell you not to speak to the dead, and it says that they have nothing worth saying that we need to pay attention to. That is what it says, and that is my belief. Now they can be right; they have been right. I've heard this. I just don't subscribe to it, and that's all right. And I'm not calling her a liar. I'm not saying that she does or does not have these intuitions or whatever. But that's just something we don't subscribe to, and I don't. It's not something I pay attention to, and that's okay. We all have a right to listen to what we want to. Okay, guys, let's close it up now. I got she's I know Allie's wore out. She worked today. Y'all thank her. She's awesome. She comes in here and sits up and does these with me when I want to put them on at the worst times because I just want to get on here and do we got to talk about the right things sometime. I want to read what this one says. Rainy Joe says, "Oh, the Bible's also a fictional book."
Oh, okay.
Yo, is it? That's funny because it's been everything that's in it has been coming to pass. Well, it's like when you can argue it without a shadow of a doubt, and you can argue it down, and because there's too much proof. It's not. I'm sorry.
But that's okay. We
That's
can all
okay.
have our
You're
different
allowed you're
beliefs.
allowed to believe that, and nobody's forcing you to believe the way I believe. Wow. Rocky Six of Us says, "Thank you, Allie, for putting up with Cam." LOL.
Hmm.
Beautiful, sweet Allie. We see she is. She's awesome, and I love her to death as much as uh, she would claim otherwise some days. My
No.
best friend, for real. Wouldn't want to do this with nobody else. All right, guys, we're done. The devil is a liar. That's a fact, and that is
Exactly.
those. That's what he would want you to believe is that the Bible is fictional. And how you could ever come to that assumption, I don't know. It disproves things to this day. Every day something happens that the Bible speaks about in full detail. It doesn't even it's not like just a roundabout way. It's like dead on precise. Hey, this is what it says will happen. It's whether you choose to do your research and read it or not. Because many people will say, I read the Bible front to back, but did you understand it?
Did you
Did you
comprehend what you
comprehend
read?
it? Because I'll tell you right now, I've read the same verses over and over and over and never comprehended it the first time. And then one day you will, and then you'll forget it, and then you'll read it again, and it'll make even more sense. Damn, use your nebulizer, somebody said. You can go use yours and then I'll worry about mine when I'm done here. Let's see. Golly. I don't know if that was a troll or not. I didn't look at the name. Sorry, guys. If that was somebody nice.
Some people are very actually do care, Kim.
I know some people care. I'm just saying, some people come out crazy tonight. Let's close it out, guys. Dear Lord, thank you for everything you do in our lives. Thank you for the things that have been happening in Summer's case. Lord, we rebuke the enemy from this channel. If Lord, we ask that you just keep them away, and if they're not going to stay away, let them learn something while they're here. Let us know that you teach us in your word to treat people with kindness and respect, and how we ourselves would want to be treated. Lord, we ask that you put a hedge of protection around the family as all this happens, whatever they have planned. Lord, we ask that you protect them. We ask that you protect Summer wherever she is, and that we ask that some answers will come forward in this the right way, Lord. And we ask that she can come home. We ask for a hedge of protection around Summer's brothers, and we ask that they have peace in their heart, being so far away from everything they've ever known. Lord, we ask that people will realize these are children that they talk about, and that these children will one day hear the words of adults that were supposed to be leading by example, and know that that's not how everybody is in this world, God. That some of us do turn to you, and some of our hearts are in the right place. Lord, thank you for the things that we've seen happen on this channel, the good people that you put over here on these platforms. Lord, I had lost faith in humanity, and you have restored that in only a way that you can. Lord, we ask all these things in your mighty name. Amen.
Amen.
Guys, thank you so much for coming on here and bearing with us for a little while. Y'all are amazing. Let the haters hate, guys, and just tell when people come at you with this craziness, to stay away from me, Satan. What is it?
This is what I thought happened.
Oh, it's okay. I'm sorry.
See?
Was that Kim?
Yeah.
Kim, I didn't even mean to say that to you. I thought you said. I thought it was one of the haters from before. That was my fault. Laugh that one off at me, please. Don't be mad at me.
Listen, I want you to know, Kim, that he does the exact same thing. He uses voice text, and you would not believe the things that he has called me, not meaning to.
I drink cedar tea and mullein and sage tea. Awesome. Guys, we love y'all so much. Thank y'all for being over here and being a part of this channel. Hopefully we'll be able to come on here again sometime soon. We got some big things planned. Let's just continue to do the right thing. Let's treat people. Hey, when you see somebody out there that might not look like they have it all put together, ask them how they're doing. Ask them, is there anything you can do to help them today? Even if it's just something as simple as giving them a pat on the back and saying, you know what, uh, God loves you, and I love you because you're my brother in Christ. That goes a long way. Sometimes you're the person that would stop that person from doing something crazy in their life, or doing something that might be crazy to somebody else. Kindness goes a long way if we use it. I get angry as the next person. I probably get madder than the next person does, but it's always good to humble yourself, come back down, and get in touch with reality, and put your ego aside and say, I'm no better than anybody. I could easily be where you are, because I really could. Y'all know my story. I could easily be right there, in the gutter still. Should be, honestly, if it wasn't for this woman right here, and for God. Anyway, here I'm gonna show this again because I'm proud of it. If y'all didn't see it the first time, before I get off here, I'm gonna play this one more time. I think it's amazing. And it's not just because I did it. It's amazing that I was able to pull something off like that. But we'll catch you on the next one. Remember, at the end of the day, everybody wants justice.
But justice doesn't have to be carried out with hate.
We'll see you guys.